Cogito ergo sum. In Latin it means I think, therefore I am. And I feel that this is what this episode is all about. Hello everyone, Mega Man NG here, and I welcome you all to another Flash Weekly episode review. This one we're going to be talking about the episode, Therefore I Am. And how fitting that it's basically pretty much a quote based off of Cogito ergo sum. Yeah, I think, therefore I am. So here's the deal. I'll be providing my thoughts on this episode with a bit of a summary, as well as some of the things that I liked. And there was a lot that I liked because this episode was really good. Let us get started. Team Flash has learned the identity of the Thinker, a man named Clifford Devoe. When they find him, they see a man in a wheelchair, along with his wife. They seem happy and content. Barry is not convinced. He decides to investigate into Devoe, and despite his friends telling him otherwise, he is determined. This has complications to the point where even a restraining order has been filed against him, and he suffers a 2-week suspension from the force. With the odds truly against him, can Barry be able to find a way out and figure out the Thinker's real plan? This is tough. This is a really tough episode review for me to explain because I really did enjoy it. I really enjoyed the episode a lot because it really... this is really hard for me to say it. I mean it. I really enjoyed the episode for a variety of reasons. One of the things I did like is that there wasn't much in terms of action. There was no action, no fight scenes whatsoever in the episode. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing because I like how the episode tells a better plot than what most other episodes that we had throughout the show. And, oh man, where do I even begin? I mean, yeah, the episode focuses more on two characters, Barry Allen and Clifford Devoe. Barry, on one hand, he focuses on finding out the truth about Clifford Devoe. And on the other side, we have Devoe himself. We finally get to learn about his origins on how he became the Thinker, and how his intellect made him pretty much one step ahead, to the point where he even knows Barry Allen's identity as the Flash. And that's a shocker. A villain that actually knows your identity and knows that he is like once or rather 3 steps ahead of you? That's scary. That is absolutely scary, and that to me is one of the things that I really liked about it. I really did like his origin, by the way. It pretty much predates 4 years ago, because back then, Clifford Devoe was a university teacher. He wasn't the brightest, but he always desired to teach students all there is to know about history and the world. But then, we also learn about the particle accelerator explosion, and how that ended up connecting to his eventual rise as the Thinker. And I really am surprised that everything by this point is connected to what happened in Season 1 when the accelerator exploded, the lightning strike, how Barry not only got his powers, but also the Thinker, Clifford Devoe. Clifford Devoe, in turn, pretty much became extremely intelligent. His intelligence, blew up right through the roof. It's insane. But it also came with a price. Despite having a powerful intellect, his entire body has been affected, to the point where he even becomes a wheelchair. I am reminded of with Harrison Wells of Earth 1, the Harrison Wells that Eobor Thawne possessed, who would end up being a mentor to Barry in Season 1. He was in a wheelchair too, but that was a facade. However, here, this makes sense with Devoe because Devoe may have gained a powerful mind, but his body ended up paying the price for it. He is connected to Barry Allen in more ways than one. Barry became the Flash due to the accelerated explosion, while Clifford Devoe became a brilliant genius, but having to hinder suffering a condition that made him be stuck in a wheelchair. And sure, it did make him be really smart, but on the other hand, I think it also did an effect on his mind, and in turn, it made him a very dangerous force. Hence why in the ending, the episode in the end, when Barry finally confronted Devoe, to the point where he actually knows, Devoe knows his identity, it's rather scary. Because now Barry has to deal with somebody who's not only really smart, but actually knows everything and is 1 or rather 2 or rather 3 steps ahead of everybody else. This is going to make for an interesting dynamic this season because all throughout, they're all building it up to the Thinker, the big bad of season 4. And I like how it was done very well. We got a good origin story. And though it's told in flashbacks, it's done beautifully. I really liked it. Not to mention the actor who played the Clifford Devoe, he really delivered on his performance, and I really liked him. The actor should be praised, honestly. I loved it. Not to mention with the confrontation at the end, and at the end when Barry explains that the Thinker now knows his identity, turns out he was right. And every bad thing that happened to Barry Allen, well, I feel that it was also due to the Thinker. It was also due to the Thinker that it happened. And this is going to create an interesting dynamic. There wasn't much action. There was some humor a bit. Well, not really as much humor, but I felt that the episode focused more on suspense. It felt like a episode of CSI or something, minus the whole people dying sort of thing. However, here in this case, it focused more on the Thinker itself and how Barry is so determined that Clifford Devoe is the Thinker, rather the source of it all. And he finally knows. And this is going to make for a pretty interesting dynamic for the rest of the season. The only thing I hope is that the episode, or rather the rest of the season, everything turns out good. And I don't want the rest of I understand that the show is trying to be more lighthearted because last season it got way dark with Savitar. But I don't want the humor and everything to die off when it has the whole Barry Thinker plot. There needs to be a balance, and I really hope that balance pays off. If the balance is there, then it's going to convince me to watch the rest of the season and see what the rest of the season has in store. How do I rate this? I'm giving this episode an 8.5. This is a big improvement compared to last year, and also something I found a miss. Ralph Dibny did not make his appearance in the episode. He didn't appear in the episode at all, aside from a little Microsoft Surface stretch skip that they showed out like in some bits in the commercials, though it's pretty much product placement for the new Microsoft Surface laptop that my brother probably owns. But it's pretty humorous here and there, in my honest opinion, though I feel that, yeah, I don't think those stretch skits are like unnecessary, but at the same time, it also provides a bit of balance. Who am I to complain, to be honest? The episode is very good. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. It is awesome. I really am it. It's a really awesome episode, a big improvement from last week, and it's going to make me want to watch it again just to see how good it is. I really do. Now we come to the big stuff. Yeah, you guys know that next week is going to be the 4-part epic crossover. Compared to last year, this one's going to be even bigger for a variety of reasons. This is Crisis on Earth X. Earth X is pretty much an alternate reality where Germany won World War II and ruled the world. And the idea of this crossover is that villains from that world are going to be coming here to the main Earth to pretty much take it over. The crossover will span 4 parts, spanning 4 different shows: Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, and Legends. Yeah, in other words, on Monday we're getting parts 1 and 2, whereas Tuesday, the next day, will be 3 and 4, concluding it up. It's a 2-night event, meaning that I'm going to have to do 4 reviews. This is going to be a really tough thing for me to do because I'm going to be doing double duty. So I want to hear what you guys think. Should I just make like 2 big reviews covering 2 parts, or just have it be split into 4 separate smaller reviews covering each specific part of the crossover? And there's also one other thing I gotta mention. There's like a certain word that I can't use. It's an N-word, but I don't want to say it for fear that YouTube would demonetize the video. But if you guys can figure out what this crossover is about, I need an alternative word. An alternative word that can pretty much help me big time so that way this video can be advertiser friendly. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know in the comments. But like I said, this crossover is going to be big next week. I'm going to be working double duty, meaning that I have to do either 2 long reviews or 4 small reviews. I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments because it's going to take me about a lot of time to prepare. Compared to last year, this year is going to be big because of another reason. This crossover is also going to be marking the last time Wentworth Miller, aka a well-known actor who portrays Captain Cold in the CW-verse, this is going to be his last role because he's going to be departing. And as a fan of his work, I am really sad, and I'm hoping to honor him big time. There will be like a big honor thing thanking the guy for his work on the Flash, Legends, and the crossover stuff. It's going to be big. So that is pretty much going to be it for this episode review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me on YouTube. Or if you're watching it on VidMe, give this a thumbs up. It helps big time. I will see you guys next week for the big epic crossover. How it's going to go about depends on you, so I look forward to hearing from you all. This is Mega Man NJ signing off. Peace out. See you guys next week. Or rather next Tuesday, for when the crossover reviews begin.